DeSantis proves it's not grooming, woke, trans, or drag queens. It's about erasure of queer existence.
Some parents and citizens may have a valid concern about gender matters and transgender issues with children in elementary schools and unfairly in sports. But there seems to be a wave of extreme conservatism recently that is totally anti-gay, as evident in social media and even in government with people like Congresswoman MTG. Can you say here today you support more mainstream human rights like gay marriage and sexual orientation of adults? Yes or no?
So there's a lot in that. I don't know where you're necessarily going, but look, what we've done with the schools is say, it's inappropriate to be having these students exposed to curriculum about things like transgender ideology. It's wrong for teachers to probe their sexuality, but that's just saying what's appropriate for education. And we want to focus on the basics. We want math, we want science, we want reading, we want writing, we want arithmetic, we want all those things. And that's really what, all that other stuff in terms of what people are saying, I don't know. I could just tell you what we're doing in the state of Florida. Yes, ma'am.
A reporter recently asked Florida Governor Ron DeSantis if he supported more mainstream human rights like gay marriage and sexual orientation of adults, and DeSantis refused to give a yes or no answer. Instead, DeSantis gave a roundabout answer in which he defended Florida's law banning discussions of LGBTQ+ issues in public schools through 12th grade. DeSantis said, quote, "It is inappropriate to be having these students exposed to the curriculum about things like transgender ideology. It's wrong for teachers to probe their sexuality, but that's just saying what's appropriate for education, and we want to focus on the basics," end quote. But the reporter reiterated to DeSantis that they were asking about adults, not children. DeSantis ignored the clarification and called on another reporter. The governor has supported several anti-LGBTQ+ policies under the guise of protecting children from sexualization, but the non-answer suggests he's also unwilling to support the rights of LGBTQ+ adults. According to a survey from the Williams Institute, DeSantis' ruthless campaign against LGBTQ+ youth in his state has led to more than half of LGBTQ+ parents to consider leaving the state. The survey found that LGBTQ+ families feel less safe after the Don't Say Gay law's passage and DeSantis' numerous attacks. DeSantis again talking about education when Florida is failing education of children on the basics, as he referred to, which would be reading, writing, and arithmetic. We have the biggest fall off from 4th to 8th grade of, I believe, any state in the country. There's a story in the Tampa Bay Times that ranks all of the states, and Florida is the worst. So we have the worst loss of education. Although when this study came out in 2022, DeSantis touted his success of education by keeping schools open because our ranking in 4th grade was I guess on the higher end, but we have the biggest fall off from 4th to 8th grade. So parents, voters, LGBTQ+ people, DeSantis doesn't care about education. He cares about erasing LGBTQ
Jeff,
people.
Before we jump into that and other conversations, I'm curious from your seat. So you're talking about the gaslighting thing that we've talked about over and over again. Sleight of hand, misdirection. I'm talking about protect our kids, but we're harming our kids. Why is the narrative why is he getting away with it? The point of we're falling off the worst in the nation, 4th through 8th grade. So why is he looked at as such a champion for children then?
I mean, he got out in front of this story very early on, and he's created this, he basically is the creator of this parental rights in education. I mean, it picked up, it helped get the governor elected in Virginia, who kind of picked up on this, parental rights thing. So the parental rights is really
Terry McAuliffe.
Yes,
because of it.
Yes. So it's a very good marketing campaign. It's a great slogan, parental rights. Except if your parents want you to learn about things that the governor doesn't agree with, then your parental rights don't matter whatsoever. Or if your parents are gay and you want to talk about your family in school, the governor doesn't care about that. So it's great marketing. I hope that our party can come up with better marketing, and the marketing needs to be Florida is a failure for education. Do not educate. There should be a warning. Do not educate your children in public schools here because we're failing.
And home insurance. And climate issues.
And gun safety.
And gun safety. And women's rights.
And just name. But just to Jeff's point, like that is, I'm really grateful that you said like the part of the thing has to be like to not educate people in Florida in public schools. They took care of that too, right? They kind of, they're helping privatize everything by creating these voucher programs. Like that is, they've thought this through and they are very clearly thinking about not just the end of public education, but that is that Florida is not going to be the place where you are going to be educated. Like that's how you keep democracy at bay, right? Like this is to make sure that people are not educated, that they're not learning the things that encourage democratic exercises and principles. Like this is the danger.
Has anyone seen the crystal ball? Jeff uses a word that I hate. I hope. This is not
no hope
2008,
here.
and we're not in Chicago.
We're not in Arkansas either.
Right, exactly. We're not in Arkansas. Does anybody see a path to be able to overcome someone that saw this faster than everyone else, got out in front of it, and has just marketed it in almost a genius way? I've used a rare combination of phrases, DeSantis and genius. Forgive me, but he's accomplished it.
Yeah.
How do we change it? How do we fight it?
I think what you said is it's about allyship. It's about, DeSantis is not attacking LGBTQ. He's attacking women. He's attacking education. And we have to align all of our different issues, and we have to focus on how can we bring those people all together around a common purpose. And a common enemy is sometimes more powerful than a great candidate. Yeah. I mean, Joe Biden certainly benefited from a really bad enemy of the state with Donald Trump and was able to win an election. And I think that path still exists because there are more people probably against those. We know that more people are against these policies than are for them nationwide.
Yeah.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show from Happening Out Television Network. In the model of PBS and NPR, we educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the stories going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.